All right, well, what is this all about? Is it the same game? On one level, Pakistan talks peace. On another level, they are waging conflict with India, pushing in terrorists who dress, and they've done this in the past as well, in army fatigues and attack a police camp 16 kilometers inside the international border in India. Well, joining us now to debate this, Major General Rashid Qureshi, the former spokesperson for General Parvez Musharraf. He joins us from Pakistan. Zafar Miraj, member of the PDP with us. Rashid Engineer, an independent MLA. Sudhanshu Trivedi, spokesperson of the BJP. Lieutenant General retired V.G. Patankar, a former corps commander of the Indian Army. And Jaiveer Shergill, spokesperson of the Congress. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Let me come to you first, Zafar Miraj. You have been speaking, the PDP has been speaking about changing the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. You believe that the army needs to disengage from a lot of areas across Jammu and Kashmir, and then something like this happens. And then when something like this happens, where does your theory, where does your belief that AFSPA needs to be scaled down, where does it stand?
Vishnu, we, even today after this incident, we firmly believe in our opinion, in our demand, in our conviction that AFSPA should be removed from the safer areas where peace has come during the last 4 or 5 years and which are now peaceful. I will just ask you one thing. If AFSPA would not have been there,
yes,
do the army people, the CRPF people, or policemen wouldn't they have fought these terrorists, wouldn't they have fought these militants? The AFSPA unfortunately has become a politically prestige point.
Okay.
AFSPA is, everybody knows, that draconian law, and so many cases of innocent killings have been taken place in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in Kashmir. For example, in Navgaon, where 3 persons, civilians were killed, in Matsel, in Chatti Singhpora, in Patriwal, and other places. So the time has come that we should rise to the occasion.
Let me put
and
that question
remove
across
AFSPA from
to
those
the
areas
BJP,
which have been peaceful now.
Sudhanshu Trivedi of the BJP. Zafar Miraj makes the point that the Armed Forces Special Powers Act is a prestige point. Does the BJP see AFSPA as a prestige issue?
No, we do not want that it should be made a political issue or it should be made a prestige issue. It should be left towards the professional expertise of the army. And there are certain things on which we also agree that after a certain time it can be reviewed and accordingly it can be thought of other options. But as of today,
yes,
the things which are happening across the border and the nefarious designs of Pakistan, which is not giving any sign of positive indications, at this time, this type of act should be there, so in order that the military should be well equipped to maintain the law and order. I can give you one example. In the last 2-3 attempts, there is a change in the strategy. Now they used to cross the border and try to do such incidents in the same day and try to return back. Because previously they were trying to hide out for a few days and then execute their operation. Today they are feeling it difficult because of the certain consideration. AFSPA may be one of them, and also they are not getting that much of support
so I'm not
from
sure
the people
terrorists have
which
AFSPA
they used
in
to
mind,
expect
sir.
previously.
But let me just bring in my other panelists. Major General Rashid Qureshi, former spokesperson to Parvez Musharraf. General Parvez Musharraf joins us as well. Thank you very much for being with us. Sir, at one level, it's a time-honored question. At one level, India and Pakistan talk peace. At another level, there is terrorists in India pushed through by Pakistan, attacking police camps, wearing Indian Army uniforms. I mean, is there will this fundamental disconnect ever go away, that on the one hand your government speaks peace, but there are other elements who try and do this?
Frankly, one gets into a very emotional and heated argument when we start talking about Kashmir, but I would like you just to listen and coolly understand that it is not Pakistan. You keep blaming Pakistan. You say that it is Pakistan who sends people abroad and all this issue takes place in Indian occupied Kashmir. We have our hands full if I was in your place, I would analyze, is this a time for Pakistan to do any such thing? No. Pakistan is fighting terrorism on its own territory in Pakistan, whether it be in the frontier region or it be even in Karachi.
General Qureshi, with all due
Even
respect,
in Lahore.
General Qureshi, with all due
Even
respect,
in Islamabad.
the belief that this is
So
homegrown
therefore-
terror, that we've got terrorists homegrown floating around in India wielding AK-47s with the ability to make very smart tactical moves on the ground in engaging the police in attacks like this, which are more advanced than they've ever been, to say that they are somehow being trained in India and are being pushed in to attack our own installations and facilities, with all due respect, sir, that's disingenuous. They are being trained in Pakistan, sir.
No.
The question is, when will it stop?
Is this happening in Pakistan? Is exactly what you've described is something that is happening in Pakistan
Precisely,
also.
sir.
Now,
No one is doubting
if-
for a moment. No one is
if
doubting,
within
sir,
Pakistan,
how Pakistan is affected by
these
terrorism.
people
No
can
one is doubting
carry
that,
out-
sir.
No,
Sir,
you've got
people
one-
across
you've
the
got to
world
listen.
sympathize with
If-
people in Pakistan on the horrific terror attacks you face. We saw and we felt with outrage when all those children were butchered in Peshawar. But the question is this, sir.
Yes.
Terrorists within your country attack you, terrorists within your country attack us, except we happen to be a separate country, sir. When will somebody in Pakistan put an end to this?
No. Pakistan is trying its best to finish. Even if you want to restrict it just to Pakistan, Pakistan is trying to do its best to eliminate this terrorism from our country.
Yes.
Now, if it can happen in Pakistan, why do you deny that it can't happen in India?
No, sir, the
point
terrorists are not
is-
here, sir.
the
They're coming
point
across
is
from your side,
these-
sir. We are depending
No,
on
I don't
like-minded
think
individuals
you
like you,
mean
sir, to spread the message to whichever establishment exists in your country which is doing this. Please put an end to this. That's the only way there will be peace between our countries, sir. Let's face it.
There is no two thoughts on this.
Yes.
There are people within Pakistan and there are, I'm sure, people within India who want terrorism eliminated from A to Z. Now, we've got to understand, if we continue to blame that these people are infiltrated from Pakistan, they go right up to Kathua or Jammu or inside India and carry out these acts of terrorism. And I was hearing just before you asked me to speak that they think that Pakistan then exfiltrates these people back into Pakistan.
No, sir, not
How
Pakistan
is it
ex-infiltrates.
possible?
There
How
was a
is it
sense that
possible?
there would be skirmishes in India and terrorists would try and come back, but these are Fidain attackers, sir. We have no doubt of their nature. But let me at this stage bring in a former corps commander of the 15 Corps based out of Srinagar. Of course, this incident took place on the Jammu front, Lieutenant General V.G. Patankar. General Patankar, strictly from a military standpoint, if you look at the last several attacks which have taken place in Mora, in attacks which have taken place in Nogam, in attacks which have taken place in Arnia, what I'm led to understand is that these terrorists operating there are far more advanced than before. They come in with better equipment. They are tactically sound in their movements on the ground. They are smart in their tactical use of radio sets. They use it occasionally, not all the time. They come in with portable rocket launchers. This is not something which was used in the past. And excellent military clothing when they are operating in high altitudes. Isn't it disingenuous to believe that all of this is being provided to terrorists within India? It is inconceivable. What kind of threat does this new terrorist represent for India?
Yeah, actually, Vishnu, let's get a few facts right. There is no doubt, neither in my mind nor in the minds of most thinking people in this country, that the terrorists are coming across either the line of control or the international border, and they are the ones who are the perpetrators. The local support, if at all there are any sleeper cells, they do get some support from them. As we saw in the case of the Mumbai attack, there was some local agency that must have given them some kind of support. But let's not digress. Coming to the kind of weapon systems and the kind of training and equipment that they receive, there is just no doubt that over the years, the kind of equipment that they've been equipped with or given is absolutely sophisticated. Sometimes even the communication equipment is state of the art. So that part is something that we have enough evidence of that, because many times we've been able to capture some of this equipment and we've been able to see exactly what kind of capability that equipment has. So sophistication is definitely a very serious aspect of the kind of threat that we are facing today. And the other one is the kind of training. The training is far superior. They are motivated, and like you said, quite often it's a one-way ticket. They are not intending to go back, but become shaheeds in their own minds for whatever cause that they are devoted to. So that is the kind of threat. So over the years, the threat has certainly been going up and up. That there is no doubt in my mind about that.
Okay, J.V. Shergill, when the UPA was in power, the Congress party was cautious in the way in which they engaged Pakistan, but there was a broader sense that sooner than later Pakistan would need to be engaged. For a very long time, this government felt that because of cross-border shelling, again on this Jammu front, mortar shelling, heavy machine gun fire, India shouldn't engage Pakistan. But then a decision was taken by the Prime Minister. There were Foreign Secretary level talks which finally took place. Do you believe that India was premature in going ahead with those talks, given this environment?
Vishnu, I just want to make 2 points, and especially keeping in light today's incident. This is reflective of 2 things and what our approach should be towards Pakistan. First, it again wants a crude reminder about our challenges with Pakistan, their hide-and-seek, musical, non-committal approach. Let's not forget 3rd March, Mr. Jaishankar was given some hollow promises by Mr. Aizaz Ahmed Chaudhry. Lakhvi was released, and now we have these attacks. So today they have to really be committal, what Aizaz said. Second, as far as the situation is worrisome since May, 846 ceasefire cross-border violations, 144 deaths including civilians. I think our government has to adopt now a consistent approach. We called off the talks because they wanted to meet separatists. Now Mr. Gilani met Mr. Abdul Basir, and we are completely mum about that. Secondly, I think our Prime Ministers, with all due respect, is appearing to be weak-kneed. On one day we express anguish in the Parliament on Masrat Alam release. Second day we appear to be helpless when he is released. So I think somewhere consistency in our approach has to be there as far as the present government is concerned. And it's high time now, considering situations and past years, we should accept a stern approach and send a strong message to this Pakistan's non-committal and hide-and-seek.
But Javed, isn't it convenient that the government of the opposition of the day will blame the government of the day of not having the right attitude towards Pakistan, when in fact the Congress did the same thing? You tried to engage Pakistan as well on so many occasions, and it failed. This government is trying as well. There is a sense that you need to be pragmatic.
Vishnu, factually and statistically, I concede we've not had the best relationships even when the UPA government was in power. I concede to that. But considering the number of infiltrations, the number of deaths, ceasefire violations, the number drastically went down from 2002 till 2014. That's a documented fact. Today, all we are saying is, see the shift in the stats since the BJP government took over. That speaks volumes. Whatever they need to realign, reapproach, these numbers of violations.
The numbers have not necessarily gone up.
No,
in terms of terrorist incidents. They have not gone up.
The deaths from May till today, 144 in J&K. Even in Northeast from today, January till March, it's 51.
Not the number of terrorist incidents which have taken place since the BJP took over at the centre has not necessarily gone up. It's a continuing trend. It's not a dramatically.
It's not a dramatically.
If anything, there is no increase. We need to cross-check that. But let me just come back to Sudhanshu Trivedi, spokesperson of the BJP at this stage. The point being is that the Prime Minister finds himself at odds at all levels. On the one hand, there is the entire issue of Masrat Alam, and the PDP has different views, and you have to carry on with the PDP. On the other hand, you feel the need to engage Pakistan. The Prime Minister has repeatedly stated it's a pragmatic decision. But everywhere, whether it is in the state where you have problems with the PDP on issues like AFSPA, or where it is Pakistan where they seem to be speaking in different voices, the Prime Minister seems to be losing out. Are we losing our edge in this engagement with Pakistan?
No, we are categorically clear what is going to be our policy vis-a-vis Pakistan. We were in favor of initiating a dialogue as it was given a signal at the time of swearing-in ceremony when all SAARC countries, head of the SAARC countries were invited. So was a Prime Minister of Pakistan was also invited. But as soon as they engaged into talk with Hurriyats, we stopped the talks. It means we are having a firm stand, and I would also like to remind, for the first time, while shelling on the border side, Pakistan's defense minister has used this type of words that India is not seem to have a mindset of peace. We want to give them a befitting reply in their own language. This type of language has not come during the UPA government. Second thing, I would like to tell to my friend Mr. Javeer that when UPA government was there, in Havana you said that Pakistan itself is a victim of terror in 2007. Then in Sharm el-Sheikh you said that our peace talks will be unaffected despite the any terrorist incidents. So it means you are giving such a leverage. So obviously there is likely to be less incidents. And one more thing, when you were there in power, the NATO forces were there in Afghanistan. Now the withdrawal of NATO forces has almost taken place from Afghanistan. So the entire, you can say, the strategic scenario of Pakistan, Afghanistan and Indian border has also changed. So if you take into account all these three things, our position is quite clear and firm to withhold our national interest.